Hello guys, what's up? How are you doing? Welcome back to my YouTube channel Englishly. My name is Abdul Aleem and I am a British Council certified trainer for IELTS. The topic which I wanted to talk on is what IELTS assessors look for in your performance, especially in speaking and writing, and this vlog is going to be all about that. Why have I chosen only speaking and writing and why not the other two modules? Is because in listening and reading, it's pretty straightforward as to how many band scores you can gain and you can get and score, because that is dependent on how many right answers you get out of the 40 questions which you would have, which you would have to 40 questions that you would have to respond to in both listening and reading. However, when it comes to speaking and writing, there are a few things which you need to understand as to what the assessors literally look for. And for that, the best thing is to go to Google and try to figure out and type IELTS band descriptors. Okay, IELTS band descriptors, and you would be able to figure out almost everything that the assessors will look for and what sort of band scores you may gain as per your performance. However, let me also give you a glimpse of what exactly are the frequently made mistakes when people speak and write in IELTS. Let me talk about IELTS speaking module first. In the speaking module, one of the prime reasons where people do not get good band scores is especially here in India and people from Indian subcontinent living in the Arabian Gulf and stuff like that, in countries like that, is that they make a lot of errors in grammar. Point number one. The another mistake or the another flaw which people have in their speaking skills is that they do not speak fluently. They are not spontaneous. Um, there are a lot of reasons why people are very anxious. One of that, one of it is they literally think very negatively, guys. You don't literally have to be negative. You got to practice, and of course, not everything which might be asked, not every topic which can be asked can be practiced. But of course, you got to be spontaneous. You got to, prepare yourself mentally and think on those lines. What do you need to think? You need to think if your assessor would ask you something which is completely out of context, something that you cannot say, something that no human can say. No, they're not going to ask you how does NASA create a rocket and shoot it towards Mars or Jupiter, right? So they're not going to ask you something which you do not know. Of course, they might ask you something which you might not be prepared, but for that you can buy time. You cannot ask the assessor to stop, by stopping yourself and then give a dead air and do not speak for about 4 to 5 seconds, right? If you do that, obviously your band scores would come down. But for that, you can buy time smartly. But what can you do? For example, if somebody asks you, talk about a writer, talk about a writer whom you wanted to meet. Obviously, we know that here in India, we do not read a lot, and obviously, we are not very much concerned about who the writer of a particular novel is and so on, right? So, but still, you can, create a writer, say XYZ name, and say that he or she is a writer. The assessor wouldn't be concerned as to if that writer really exists or not. They're not going to Google out the name of the writer whom you speak about after you're gone from the assessment room. No. So talk about something and be spontaneous and confident. Whatever you talk about, be reasonable. Talk sense. Okay, you can bluff anywhere which cannot be obviously researched upon. And anyway, the assessors are not going to be concerned about what you say, but how you speak. How is that you use English as a language? So that's the another point, is that fluency or spontaneity is a concern. Third and very important thing, which people literally do not give a lot of preference to, is the lack of cohesion and coherence. What is coherence? Coherence is how you structurize your entire sentence. Did you, of course, this is not directly related, but indirectly related. And what's that? Did you understand the question properly? If you understand the question properly and you respond to it accordingly, obviously you would make sense. Otherwise, if you do not do that, and if you feel shy to ask the assessor to repeat the question, of course, you cannot ask him or her to repeat the question every single instance he or she asks you. But you can definitely, once or twice, if you happen to either out of anxiety, you were thinking about something else, and you want the assessor to repeat for being able to comprehend the question better, you can ask once or twice in the entire speaking test to repeat the question. You feel free to do so. So if you understand the question, you'll be able to reason properly. So coherence is that how you reason. Okay, and if possible, especially in the third section, you can also give a little bit of examples as well, for instances, right? So that is your coherence, how you frame your response. That is your coherence. And cohesion is nothing but how you link one sentence with another sentence when you speak. For that, you got to use a few conjunctions, you got to use cohesive devices. That is something that you can quite easily get on internet. So use cohesive devices and be coherent as well for being able to get good band scores. Another thing which people literally do not get good band scores in speaking is that they do not use good vocabulary. And guys, when I say good vocabulary, it doesn't mean that you have to be a Shakespearean or you have to sound like Shakespeare, right? You don't have to mug up 100 words every day for being able to, force the assessor to open the dictionary when you speak. No, that is not the expectation from the assessor. Ensure that whatever you speak and the word that you speak makes sense, and it is the usage of it is quite accurate as well. Okay, point number one. Point number two is a word that you use in a sentence shouldn't be repeated at least in the next couple of sentences that you speak. So try to use a range of sentences too. Range of words as well, for being able to let the assessor get this impression that you have a lot of word count in your mind, and you can use the language and the words in this language, English, quite accurately and quite naturally as well. Right. So these are few things which I want you guys to work on for being able to get good band scores. As far as the writing goes, I would want to make a separate video for how to improve and what assessors literally look for in your writing skills, because that's one of the areas and one of the modules where people are not literally getting more than 6.5. So I'll talk on that as well in a separate video. As of now, this is very much it. Feel free to ask me questions down below. Draft your comments, write the comments, and then I'll read each and every comment and would try to respond to those questions as well. All right. Do not forget to subscribe, like, and share this video if you found this to be quite helpful. Okay. Thank you so much for joining, for viewing, I would say, this video. I will see you guys again in another video. Take care. Bye-bye.